Yo, this is Willie Jello Johnson for the Titus Podcast. That's right, brought to you today by Harry's Razors. The best razors money can buy for very little money. Go to harrys.com/Titus to get your amazing deal. Do it now. And now, with the Armageddon update, Mr. Christopher Titus.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon update. And today, let's go to the world of imagination, a place where nothing is real and totally made-up stories are told by the people that live there. People like the NRA. These wizards and warlocks of tall tales or lies have made up some amazingly scary stories. So gather around, children, and let's hear the made-up stories of the National Rifle Association. And now, fairy tales of the NRA. This one's called The Only Way to Deal with a Bad Guy with a Gun is with a Good Guy with a Gun. Now, this is their hero versus the villain story. And this story is super true. Americans have over 14.2 million concealed carry permits. 14.2 million? And that's why no one ever gets shot in America.
Bullshit.
What? A lot of people get shot in America? Got it. Yeah, but that was in 2010. Yeah, you know, where only 31,000 plus people died from guns and 73,000 were hospitalized from gunshots. So only like 100,000 plus deaths and injuries. But I'm sure the good guys with guns wanted to be there, but they were all at weddings or hanging out at a Starbucks.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Sir.
But that was in 2010. It's now 2019, and I'm sure by now the gun death and gunshot injury rate in America is 0. Thank you, good guys with a gun.
Bullshit.
Damn you! Picture box on the right side of my head. The other right side of my head. Now, okay, so if we go back to our story, kids, good guy with a gun actually happens about 3% of the time, so it's very rare. Like a weaponized mythical creature.
You believe in magic, make a silly sound.
So, either you open carry people really need to get your shit together or admit that it's a myth. It's a fallacy. Brought to you by the people that want to sell you more guns. And they have better imaginations than Stephen King on mushrooms, but way worse hair. But of all the people shot, 2/3 of those were suicides. So, maybe you useless good guys with guns could save more lives. You went to college, got a psych degree, and volunteered at the suicide hotline. Or, I mean, because the bang bang stick you're currently saying is going to save people ain't cutting it. Or maybe you could use your gun to threaten people that you'll shoot them if they want to kill themselves. Yeah, hey, I bet that idea works at least 4% of the time. So you're still better. People, there's not one statistic that backs up our gun fetish in America. Not one. If guns saved lives, we would be the safest nation on earth. And currently, we are the 30th most dangerous when it comes to gun deaths. And for every 100 Americans, we have 120 guns. The next closest country in gun ownership is Montenegro and Serbia. And Serbia went through civil war from 1992 to 1999, then involved genocide or ethnic cleansing, kids. Yeah, it's such a nice word for exterminating an entire race of people. Sounds like they killed everybody, and yet it still smelled minty. Now, I guess if a bunch of people wanted me and everyone who looked like me dead, that I would probably weapon up too. Yet the Serbians only have 38 guns per 100 people. We, Americans, have more than 3 times as many guns per capita than fucking Serbia. I guess going to a Chipotle in America is more dangerous than genocide. Open Carry, Texas was taking AR-15s into Chick-fil-A's. What, you afraid of, snowflakes? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? To those of you responsible gun owners that train, lock your weapons, and know that they aren't toys, thank you. I have federal law enforcement and 2 Navy SEALs in my family, and they have trained for years and are all experts on a large menu of weapons. And even they think we need to do something about the current state of gun laws in America. And they aren't anti-gun. They're just anti-dumbass. Because they're thinkers. And they don't believe the NRA fairy tale. Now, Today, it's July 29th, 2019. And in my country, there have been over 284 mass shootings and 22 school shootings in half a year. School shootings do taper off, during summer vacation, though. Thank God. I'm a glass half full guy. Our kids are getting shot at school, and that's not a fairy tale. In Gilroy, California, on Sunday, 15 were shot and 3 were killed. One was a 6-year-old boy named Steven Romero. Steven Romero loved Legos and Batman, and he was playing in a bouncy house at a food festival. He was 6, and he's dead, and his parents are never going to see him again. Since Sunday, we've had 5 dead and 7 shot in Wisconsin and 5 shot in Chicago, but we didn't hear about those. You know why? Because in America, after 1.6 million gun deaths in our country since 1968, it's just a normal day in America. Yeah, no other country in the world has this kind of normal. I'm going to see you next week. But I've decided to move the entire podcast to war-ravaged Serbia. It's safer, and I think I need a break. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Coming up next, the amazing Zack Ward. Dave! Hey, everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. Thanks for listening to the Armageddon Update. That's right. It turns out that all this concealed carry, good guy with a gun shit doesn't work. And if you can prove it, please go to ChristopherTitus.com, hit the contact page, and give me that evidence. I would love to insert it back into you. So with me today is Bombshell is with Grandma Jean in North Carolina. We're getting ready to go on vacation, so she goes a week early because she gets to do what she wants. I'm here doing the podcast with PZE.
Hello.
That's a
Hello.
Hello. Very calm. But with basically one of my favorite people in the world most of the time. A guy who I love, who's my brother and was my brother, but he's my actual brother now in a way. The amazing, now by the way, be careful because he speaks differently. He's from Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Zack Ward.
Woo.
Sorry.
Yeah. And they do.
Sorry.
Now,
So
can I have the Starbucks out here? Or
yeah, no, we're a podcast. I don't give a
I
shit.
don't want to do phones.
Yeah. That was weird. Wow, was that it? That was like someone said it's an Easter egg. It looks like a fuck up to
It
me.
looks like a fuck up.
It looks like
yeah,
someone in the
yeah,
crew
yeah.
was like, they were like, because we'd been in those situations filming where they're like, guys, we gotta go, we're burning money. And some actor the assistant ran in, handed the coffee, and this actor went blah, blah, blah to the other actor.
And
They said-
action.
And then they went boom, and fucking Starbucks is here. Hello. It's a fantasy world.
It is a fantasy.
So thank God you could call it. They had Starbucks back there with the dragons.
Who do you think roasted them?
Exactly.
Nice.
Dragon roast coffee.
Yeah.
By the way, I think we just came with a new coffee place.
I would buy that.
All right, make sure you get on the mic because
Okay, that's better.
Here's how this works. These amplify your voice and put it through a thing, and then they record
See,
it.
in Canada, we use cans of tuna with a string, and it goes out to everybody in Canada because there's only like 12 of us in the entire country.
So Zach has been. So Zach was with me on Titus, as you guys know. Zach and I had the most fun. I think we had some of the most fun we ever had doing this show. Zach, we've talked about this once before. Zach. Right before they said action, Zach would fart. Zach would actually eat. I don't know. He's eating some Canadian food, a lot of cod, a lot of
Just brings
weird,
his own Canadian
a lot of very
food in.
odd, a lot of poutine. That's the best way I could describe the smell. That's poutine. There's a lot of-
yeah. Well,
put
no,
the
they
poo in
were not
poutine.
good. They were
So-
not good.
So me and Zach, we rehearsed. They're getting ready. All right, guys, and ready? 3, 2, action. What?
Watching you try to keep it straight.
And I'm trying to act.
Yeah.
Me and Zach are like, I'm like da 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 da.
And then he turned to the audience and be like, you guys don't know what just happened? Zach dropped a potato. I'm like,
And then Zach would go, no, I didn't.
yeah.
He
And
would
I was
always-
so young and cute back then. I didn't have like this bitter rage face. So I was like, I don't even know what farts are.
I don't fart.
Actually, my farts, I actually got to use them for good at one point. Because remember, we had the woman
Like a
who played your
superhero.
mom. Yeah, like a superhero. But I had a little cape on my butt. No, what was that woman who played your mom, the redhead? And
Oh yeah, Kate,
no,
Kim.
Clint Eastwood's ex-wife.
Oh, Frances Fisher.
Frances Fisher.
Awesome.
She's a wonderful actress. She's really great, and
And sweetheart of a human.
no, still a great human being.
Yeah.
But sometimes this happens for actors when you, especially a live audience. So instead of like, okay, great, let's go again. when you're doing in front of a live audience, you can kind of vapor lock. You can hit a moment where you're pushing harder and harder, and it's getting
especially for
worse.
film actors.
Right,
Especially film actors have this
exactly.
thing. Like I've been live performing since I was 19, and he's been God. He was in Christmas Story. You've been, and live audiences don't scare you a little bit, but not as bad.
No, they scare me a little bit, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Right, and I know.
Well, by the time she was on the show, we'd done 2 years of it.
Yeah,
We were like, wee.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then so she vapor locked. Like she
Oh
fucking.
my
It was like, great, we're gonna go again, Francis, and she'd do it again, and she started stumbling. So you get over in your head with stuff, and she
Well,
was
then
getting
it
in her head.
snowballs.
Right, and I was standing there watching this. This is true, and you get it. This is funny. So I'm watching her, and she's near fucking tears now because she's humiliated in front of all these people. She can't get the line. It's stumbling over. People are getting tense. It's like, we're gonna go again, go again, go again. We're gonna go again. Okay, that's great. We're gonna go again.
And just be clear, she's an Oscar-nominated
Oh yeah,
actress
she's an amazing
on
woman.
this sitcom with us goofballs.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Live set,
live
Yeah,
set,
yeah.
and she's. I can see the the tears brimming in
There's
her
300
eyes.
people watching.
Oh my
and
God.
Not
4
a joke.
cameras.
True story. I farted on purpose.
No, you didn't.
I fucking did. And here's the great thing about it. What's his name who played that she was going to shoot?
Ed Begley.
Ed Begley Jr. is tied to a chair. The scene's going on. And Ed Begley Jr., I'm like, I bear down, man. Because I know something has to take the focus off
Yeah,
of her, right?
yeah.
So, comes out. Everybody cracks up and then stops at Ed Begley's tied to a chair and he goes,
Ed Begley.
he was away.
He was awesome. He made the whole chair hop away, and we use it. We use it.
Oh, and I go, I'm quirky. You remember the setup joke before was,
yeah, right.
and she looked at me and she went, it was awesome.
For real?
For real. Now, the
Wow.
funniest thing about this is a few years after the show is over.
She
There's
called
a-
him and asked him to fart on
No.
her. Is that what happened?
What?
Sorry, that was Germany.
So, no, Fox was doing this like bloopers and outtakes on all the hit shows. And what the fuck do you think they used?
What?
Yeah,
It
Me
came up.
farting on national fucking television.
Oh,
It was awesome.
my God.
Yeah. You know what? Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
there, my friend.
Yeah.
Fucking legend. So there's a fart story where farts can do good.
That's right.
It brought everybody. Whenever he farted, it took everybody out of it. We were like,
Yeah.
Where were you? Were you just offset or on the
was
side?
I
I was in that setup.
Yeah.
I was here. She was here. I was.
I think I
here.
walked off set instantly.
Yeah.
He did because I was used to it. I'm like, I'm out because he would just fart on you. And
No, just you.
I know there was a cloud and
Yeah,
like,
but-
you didn't do it to Cynthia.
No. You know what? I did do to Cynthia though. I fucked with Cynthia. Cynthia Wachos, beautiful woman.
Yeah.
I had
Blonde.
2 babies, twins, and she would say to me, she's like, Zach, my breasts laugh at my old bra because she was just very,
Yep.
very full chested. And I had read this thing because a Zach fact, learning information that
People, Zack fact. Zack Ward has so much meaningless information in his head,
Mhm.
and it's so detailed that it's incredibly interesting. And then he finishes it, and you realize I just wasted 8 minutes of my fucking life. But I know some shit that I can tell people when we're bored. Guess what you do?
So here's what I learned is that a woman who's breastfeeding, her body will respond to the sound of a baby even against her own will. So when
What?
Cynthia was 30 feet away on the stage, and I just learned this. I was like watching her with some friends. I'm like, shit you not, Cynthia's got her back to me, and I see her like, blah, 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 blah. Zack! And then I'm like, yes! Running away.
So it'll also respond to a baby duck.
You're right, that is like, it's rabbit season.
It definitely sounds like it. So we did the show a long time ago. Again, I don't like living in the past. It was honestly, I have to say, you called it Camelot the other day on Twitter. You said it was Camelot, and I look back on those days. We were kind of crazy. We did that. Every episode of the show was about something insane. We did a child molesting episode. Now we're not where we molested child, but we actually was anti. Like at the end of the thing, I go take this dude out with a bat. Like the end of this sitcom,
shit.
I go into the bathroom where he's in with a baseball bat, and that's how we cut out. We did a terrorist episode.
Yep.
We did Tommy's Not Gay. We did an episode where we actually brought up Matthew Shepard in it.
Yeah, dude.
And it was a time in life where you're fearless. I think I've held on to that. I think I learned something during that show, which is like, just keep doing what you do, and not everybody's gonna like it. But if you like it, at the end of the day, because death is here we are.
Yeah.
You have all this time to fill, and you can fill it with trying to suck ass, or you can fill it with what that makes you happy, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So like you want to be a DP, right?
Yeah.
You know, that
Yeah.
see that didn't
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
I guess.
I buy cameras and I have a lot of money invested equipment. I don't know.
I mean, if you want me to be,
Right, but that's what you want to do.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
Yeah.
and you actually are a director. So
Yeah.
so I want to hear a couple of the movies you've done. Now, I Don't Blink. People, by the way, go see Don't Blink. It's actually on. Is it on Amazon?
Don't Blink Now. I think it's on Amazon.
Yep.
It was a
Cool
Red
movie.
Box. Yeah, it was cool. I didn't direct that one. I produced that one.
Right.
Yeah.
But but you were the one who drove it to get made.
Yeah.
People have no concept of what it takes
Right.
to, especially. Here's the thing: there's two ways to make movies. You can actually come up with your own idea and make the movie, which is endless, and you have to cut corners and you have to find money.
Mhm.
And then there's the other way, which is like your Tom Cruise, and they just go, how many zeros on this check? How many zeros?
Right.
And then you do what you want. And we need a crane. We need to invent a new technology.
Right.
We need sentient robots. Okay. And then they build them. Right? That's the two ways.
Which is Christopher Nolan for the movie Inception. Did you see
Yeah.
the film?
Yes.
Great
Oh,
movie.
God.
Great movie.
No,
oh
I'm
my
sorry, not
god.
Inception. Interstellar.
Oh,
even
Interstellar,
that one.
so
They're
good.
both
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay, so
Rachel
remember
hated that
The
movie.
cornfield.
the cornfield.
Made it.
Dude,
Yeah.
he fucking
Yeah.
okay. So the cornfield where they're driving.
Yeah.
through the-
Right.
Yeah.
Where everything's
He
kind of dying.
bought all the land
Grew
and
it.
grew the corn for the scene.
Yeah.
What?
He wanted a cornfield
What?
with a mountain behind it.
Yeah.
And that's so he.
So
yeah.
he bought the land
Yeah.
and grew the corn.
What's even worse is actually they actually sent the actors to fucking space. Matt Damon was literally on a planet that was undiscovered. But
You talking about the Martian?
Christopher
He's
Nolan.
not in Interstellar.
Yes, he is.
He's not. Oh wait.
Yes,
What?
He
he
is.
is.
Yeah, that's
He's the
confusing.
bad
Huh?
guy,
He's the one of the
dipshit.
guys. The
Oh, that's right.
She's-
You're right. You're right.
Yep.
I stand corrected.
Yeah.
I sit corrected.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the bad guy in it, and I love that movie. I watched it. Rachel, so funny. Okay, so Rachel's not here, so we can talk about her. She's gonna watch this though and give me crap later. I have a tendency to take Rachel to these movies that seem to be a day and a half long. So Interstellar, like Interstellar is the longest movie ever. So then I take her to Hateful Eight, and she's Rachel can handle a 45-minute movie, like a she's got a Hallmark movie. She can hang because she can do things, and you know what's going to happen. Took her to Interstellar where it's layered. It's got all these layers, and Rachel's incredibly smart. It's not that. For some reason, she can't deal with the bullshit of like when someone's trying to tell a really intricate story. And Hateful Eight, she's just like, is anything gonna happen in this movie?
And the rich dialogue.
It's too
yeah,
long,
yeah,
this
yeah.
Fucking film, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
And the intermission came up in Hateful Eight, and she just goes, really? Just looked at me like, you son of a bitch.
That's funny.
So now I don't know if I'm gonna take her to the new Tarantino movie. I don't know.
I have no interest in seeing it. I got to be honest.
Why?
Wow.
I got, there's something that happens when I watch actors do a movie where it looks like they're jerking each other off and how fabulously important and special they are, and it's not part of the story. So like I have the same problem with Oceans 12 and 13.
Oh, I have that problem with those movies.
When it-
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like, going like, stop it. Stop.
Not
jerking
the
off
first
all-
one.
No,
Not the
Ocean's
first one.
11. I fucking
Yeah,
love.
Great,
Not the
yeah.
first
But that's the things like with that film, I look at it, I'm like, aren't you guys also super handsome and movie stars and being ironic about? It's like maybe it's because I'm bitter,
I was gonna say this is bitter actor shit,
right?
But I'm with you.
Yeah. The Leonardo DiCaprio character is on his way down. He's having a hard time. Like, but are you? But are you? So maybe it's just me.
So somebody said, a friend of mine had seen it, and I was at his house on Monday, and he said, he was dead honest. He said, this guy's incredibly honest, and he just said, you know what? He goes, Brad Pitt's good in the movie. He goes, it's a good movie. It's weird. He goes, but Leonardo DiCaprio, he goes, honestly, he's just a movie star. You get it.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
shiny
yeah,
people.
yeah,
He's one of the
yeah.
shiny
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And he and they said and I find that he doesn't do that. I'm gonna go see it because I don't think Tarantino will
right.
allow that. But
You tell me how it is, and
but
maybe I'll
even in
spend my money.
Tarantino's his early movies, there was kind of that. Pulp Fiction didn't really have it, but I would say True Romance, which he didn't direct, had it. Had a little bit of that look at me in it. A little bit. I think sometimes actors get a little bit of,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
But
There's
I mean, you're right.
there's a
You're
layer
right
of
that.
look at me. There's a layer of look at me in some movies.
Sort of an awareness of the audience.
How cool this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Well, yeah, in True Romance.
But I don't.
then-
But we haven't seen it yet, so we don't know. You
It
could
might be
just make-
amazing.
You're making
Yeah,
shit up.
I think so.
You know what? This is a good point. So you go see it. Tell me what you think.
No, you and I are gonna go see it.
Ah, son of a bitch. Is it 45 minutes?
3 hours. I think it's 3 hours.
What the
yeah.
fuck are
yeah.
y'all?
But,
Yeah,
here's-
that's what I was told.
here's the
Yeah,
other
I want to
problem.
see it really bad. Yeah.
Here's the other problem inside baseball. When you've acted and you've written something,
Yeah.
together, when you're inside baseball like that, I was watching. We were just cutting something together for the Armageddon update, which you guys saw. Awesome. PZ's awesome at this, and we're using a piece from Pulp Fiction, and I was watching, and it usually, so now if you're not a movie person, you don't do movies or write them, or if you're in them, you just go, oh, that's cool. All of a sudden, I realized, holy shit, that camera had to be so low under that bar when what's his face,
Roth,
right?
Roth.
Roth is walking on the counter.
Yeah,
the camera is way down here, and it took me entirely out of the scene's awesome. Took me entirely out of the scene. Being in show business will fuck up your enjoyment of show business.
Because you can't just be an audience member. You can't just be someone who appreciates the moment. You're actually analyzing and breaking it down.
Yeah, or something surprises you. You go, why? Why is that so cool?
Right.
And then you start figuring out. I guess welders have that too, though. guys like guy can't even just look at it and be like, that's a beautiful boat trailer. Jesus Christ, look at the weld on that.
Yeah, but I think it's a little different because like when we watch TV or we watch movies, we're always analyzing the process, and it's until it's so good that it stops us from analyzing. That's when it bugs me. So if I'm watching a long movie, I don't judge it by the time period. I judge it by my butt. If my butt starts getting
he's
sore,
got an ass meter. His ass meter.
Yeah, pretty much. If I'm like uncomfortably adjusting, then I'm not caught up so much that I don't care.
Gotcha.
Well, that's what I loved about Inception. I got to the end of Inception and I was like, holy shit.
Right.
I didn't Interstellar too, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
I was so into it, and Rachel was so mad. Her ass meter is it's just way.
It's not good.
No, it's not. It's too sensitive.
I took my wife to go see the latest Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movie, and she was like, "Really, 2 hours and 30 minutes?" I'm like, we're going because I bought the tickets, so shut up already. And then it just went like this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
bang, dude.
We have to be okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
we have to be honest about Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise
is awesome.
Yeah.
He's never not good.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean,
even Vanilla Sky, which I've watched 100 times.
It's amazing.
No, even Legend.
amazing.
Legend. It was good.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
I couldn't
Ridley
get through
Scott.
Legend. I'm not a good. I hate fantasy. I don't like fantasy movies. I don't like.
Really?
I just can't. I can deal with aliens and I can deal with tech. Shit like
fantasy,
that, tech future, but I can't deal with how the dragon's here yet. I can't deal with when there's fucking little fucking people and flowers talk.
People
I'm like,
exist in our world.
but they're not magical. You think they are, and you wish
Yes,
they were,
are.
but they're
Have
not.
you dated one?
No, I haven't. But
So
now
you
I'm going
don't
to
know
have
they're
to.
magical.
Yeah.
So
I don't not that kind of magical. I mean, like giving me wishes. I'll go. It's and kings and this and knights.
So
and
because you were never the Dungeons and Dragons kid.
No,
yeah,
I
was. But you're a little bit older than me.
But I just sat through American Graffiti again on the plane. Okay,
Really?
it's so good. It's so good.
Great film, but also all about cars, which is your
No,
whole-
it's not about cars. It's not cars. Cars are the envelope that the movies and cruising is, and it's one of those movies that every character piece. It's almost like if Lucas did his version of Pulp Fiction for nostalgia, because all the stories kind of meld and go together.
Overlap.
Yeah, Rachel's got a great story called Rocket Club. The Interstate Doesn't Interact, and it was this place she used to go to in Uncertain, Texas. And guys, you got to see Ray.
That's the name of a place called Uncertain.
There's a place called Uncertain. Like how
Sounds great. Yeah.
How much for those people? Like, yeah, fuck it, Uncertain.
What a great name in a movie.
Just a bunch of people living in total anxiety all the time. Where do you live? Uncertain.
Uncertain. I'm uncertain.
Maybe.
What are you doing? Don't know either.
You hungry? Could be.
Uncertain Texas. So anyway, she started telling the story about Rocket Club, and it's this. She went to this club this one night. She went to baseball player buddies, and her boyfriend was a baseball player. They almost got murdered by these two psycho rednecks. The girl Heather at the bar, she's as Rachel describes her, is a girl that she was never not pregnant. She was always pregnant with a new baby. And
I get it.
And they came in one night. So she found out years later that the boyfriend who she'd been far broken up with had robbed the Rocket Club about. They had gone back 2 weeks later after this incident where they was getting robbed it. Heather was getting banged on the bar while she was pregnant after it was closing time, and the two dudes that were going to rape her from one of them, they actually got beheaded because they flew a Trans Am when they were chasing them. Anyway, so I started going, holy shit,
that's the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah,
that's
a movie.
I just thought, I told her, I go, this is like a weird Pulp Fiction story that you got 4 stories that we could do and call it the Rocket Club. Done. But they did the El Royale. Did you see El Royale?
I saw that. Yeah, it was all right.
Shot.
Yeah, shot
Pretty
well.
good, pretty
And
weird.
it got
Some
a
of the
little
acting
silly.
was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen, jumping off to different topics, have you seen the show The Boys yet?
No.
I haven't seen. Oh, I heard it was
It's a
good.
comic book thing, eh?
Okay.
So
This is just
another
this is
thing.
new right now, right?
no, but hold on.
All
So-
right.
Hold on, but this comic book is originally from England, and it is based on there's a world where there are superheroes, right? But they're basically run by a corporation, and our team of heroes have no superpowers. They're just human beings who are sick and tired of this bullshit, and they have. I don't want to give anything away, but the opening sequence that gets you into it is so hellaciously fucking. I'm going to tell you. There's a guy.
Yeah, you're not gonna ruin. I'm not that guy. You don't ruin
it's
it.
in the first episode. You meet our hero Huey, and he's kind of a neb that works at a Radio Shack style store. And his girlfriend shows up, and she's a sweetheart. And you can see they really love each other, and they're having a really beautiful, fun, banterish relationship. And you're like, oh, I like these people. And she's like, they're like walking the sidewalk, and she steps off and says things, holding his hand, and then whoop, like the Flash.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this guy's character's name is called the A Train. He goes through her, and she just explodes into blood and teeth. And bone.
What?
And this guy comes to a stop, like half a block down. He's like, I couldn't stop. And takes off, and he's just like,
Man, you shot Marvin in the
and he's
face.
still got her
What?
hands.
Are you
Oh, dude.
serious?
And so, what's so brilliant about it is like you think it's going to be one level of discussion. The characters, each character in the series, dude, I marathoned it. I fucking love it. Each character is so
Is
complex.
this Netflix? The Boys.
Amazon.
Amazon. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I see the billboards
Yeah,
around.
and
3
each
kids.
character's
4 kids.
Environment is so dynamic. It's really impressive as a writer. It's one of those things you keep on going. You're like, oh, I expect the bad guy to. Oh my god, wow. Now I feel sympathy for him. Oh wow, he still scares the shit out of me.
Someone.
Oh wow,
Oh
sexy.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Elizabeth Shue in this thing
Yep.
will blow your fucking mind.
Okay,
She's amazing. So
Hmm.
it's like that type of brilliant writing. By the time you get to the last episode,
but doesn't that make you want to be better as a writer?
fuck yes.
Like I love like Breaking Bad. I remember I watched the first 5 episodes of Breaking Bad, and I was like, "Wow, I don't know shit about writing.
I suck so
Wow.
bad.
I need
now.
to stop doing this
Do you ever-
forever."
I don't know about you, but when I'm watching TV and watching or something I really enjoy, I'll press pause and I'll text myself a note about the moment I'm catching that's teaching me something.
Yeah.
Mm.
From that, like Mr. Mercedes. Did you see that?
Yes.
Oh my
The book is awesome.
god, just so well written. Anyway, so yeah.
So so the best piece of advice I ever got on writing was surprising and inevitable. There's moments
You told me
where
that.
you're like something happens and if your first reaction is that couldn't, and then you realize no, that connects back to oh shit, that's exactly what had to happen.
right.
And it's horrible. It's like at the end of Breaking Bad. At the end of Breaking Bad, is surprising. You don't want Walter White to die, but he's dying, and he the last thing he cares about is his meth. The last thing he does, he's proud that he did what he did. Like his life was worth it. It was surprising because he knew he fucked up everything. He fucked up his family. He fucked everything. But he puts his hand on the cooker at the end, and you get that he loved it, that he fucking loved it. And I was like, that's a crazy way to end the character.
Mm.
Crazy way to end the character. Anyway, so we're way inside baseball now. So then you did Bethany,
I know. I produced and wrote and acted in Bethany. I
Right.
didn't direct that one.
right?
That
Wow,
was
no.
James Cullen Bressick.
Now, when you were working on these, were you like, Bethany's on iTunes, right?
Bethany's and Restoration are on iTunes, Amazon, Hulu.
Okay, and these are
We're
horror
right
movies.
about-
You like
yeah.
you like the horror genre.
The horror genre travels really well. The thing with comedy is funny to you. It's very culturally specific.
True. That's why I put that's why Special Unit had a lot of slapstick in it, because I wanted to make sure internationally they would go, oh, it's still funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and everybody likes little people.
But they're not really magical.
They're not. magical.
I want wishes.
Be on set with some of them. They're really not.
No. Moving forward. So,
So then you did so, and you shot these movies. And here's about the independent film people. With all the technology we have today, you literally don't have to worry about making it in Hollywood. You can make a movie. You have to worry about you can actually make a movie. You shot Bethany for like nothing.
yeah.
And then-
both Bethany and Restoration were shot back to back, 14-day shoots, 3
Wow.
days down, using some of the same locations and the same crew. So when I negotiated a house location, fucking cool ass house, crazy old woman who owned it, wackadoodle. But just changing the rooms and the design enough to make it look like two different places, and literally 3 days down, get back to the other one and just jam it the fuck out.
Wow.
So you did 2 movies
14
in 4
days.
weeks. Wow.
Yeah.
So and did they do okay? Where everybody's happy? with
Actually, they recouped. They recouped and did about another 15-20%. So that's not bad at all. I will say that we got kind of fucked. For those of you out in the film industry or who want to, there's always going to be the thing that you don't know that's going to fuck you that will completely fuck you. In this situation, it was a guy by the name.
By the way, you're never going to get this at UCLA Film School.
No.
This, when you actually do the movie and you actually do it, you do it. There's all these extra things that all of a sudden you realize, wait, we made some money. No, you didn't.
No, you
No, you didn't. We did. You did.
So there was some people attached who screwed things up and really delayed delivery. And so what that means is like I had a contract with a distributor. Every time I was late for a delivery, I was in breach of contract, which meant that they could have sued me, and which means that also that all my investors could have sued me, and I would have just lost my shit. So
you had a time.
I had problems. So when we shot in 2015, we should have been done and finished with both films by November. Both of them delivered to the distributor, and it took like another year. Fuck me, dude. Yeah, it was.
You shot them in two films in 4 weeks, and it took over a year to get them
posted.
All post.
Why?
It was because of one company that I worked with. Like, they came on board as a producer. So sometimes when you don't have a lot of money to make something, you can say, hey, would you be a producer, and you give us the free coffee. Obviously going to be more money than that, more valuable than that. So they were doing the post on the color correction and the VFX and the titles, and they were the owner of the company is just a fuckwit.
Well,
Just
also they get like
absolute
this. They get like,
fuckwit.
we're not going to make enough money. Do these other projects. Then they got two other projects in front of you, and they're
It
not
wasn't
keeping
like that.
their word. No,
wasn't that. No, sir.
just fuckwit.
It was fuckwit, dude.
Okay, all right. Sometimes you got to break it down.
Ace came. You know my buddy.
Yeah, I know Ace.
So
Ace did some of my
comes
comedy
over,
specials.
and he's over at the studio with me because I'm sitting there with the owner of the company trying to get him to do his fucking work. And this guy is talking about mercurial silver, how good it is for ingestion to help you. It'll turn your skin blue, and how there's I'm not kidding, reptilian people in the center of the earth, and because he's high as fuck all the time, and then doesn't get any of the work done. And I've been there for 5.5 months every fucking day. And when I walked, no, it wasn't funny. When I walked
This is
out,
like Zack therapy. Let's help Zack.
and when I walked out, Ace turned to me and said, I'm so sorry. I thought you were exaggerating. Because nothing would get done in a period of time. So I couldn't go off and do something else because I carried the weight and responsibility of the investors.
And didn't want to get
their money
sued. And didn't want to get sued. Let's be honest. You know,
It's all those
Jeez.
things I didn't want to have happen. But yeah, it was like, so these things happen. I learned a lot. I learned a lot of stuff about it. And then the recent one that I'm doing is Patsy Lee and Keepers of the Five Kingdoms. That's one I'm directing. It's a fantasy, sort of like Big Trouble in Little China
right.
meets the Goonies type of thing.
What?
Magical world type of shit. Yeah.
That's what you're working on right now?
Yeah.
You filmed it.
Wow.
You finished filming it. You're doing reshoots, though,
I'm
right?
doing pickup shots. Yeah. Actually, one of them is going to be baller, dude. Because so remember
Dude.
Yoda,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, we got a turtle version of Yoda. So I mean, in
What?
the sense of a puppet,
Right.
and it's
A wise puppet, in the sense of a wise puppet.
yeah, but also size wise. The
Yeah.
thing is,
Right.
this big, 30 pounds, animatronic head. We had to create
What?
our own rigging for moving it and puppeteering it. So, and that, yeah, dude. So when you shoot that stuff, it's like, how the fuck do we get from here to here? You can't be like, Chris, go step over there. Perfect. The
We gotta
puppet
move
doesn't
it.
and you got a green screen and shoot and not be in front of it. Fucking cool. It's neat. It's really
That's cool.
exciting. Yeah.
That's
So you
cool.
learned more on this one, didn't you?
I learned a ton. Yeah.
And let's say, so you've done all these movies now. You're still acting all the time. You did a Steven Seagal movie and with DMX too, and yet you were raised in a cult.
Yes, I was raised in.
Okay, I've never really heard this story. So I've known Zack 20 years. I have never heard this real, complete story. I've got bits and pieces of this crazy story, and I want to hear it now. So your
Okay.
so you were a little kid.
I was my.
How old?
I was about 5 when my mom joined.
Join the club. Sign up.
Yeah, and now here's the great thing: is you can look this up since you're going to be that guy, and it's called. It's very Canadian sounding cult. Like over seriously,
I'm already gonna look it up.
in the United States, you'd be like the sun rays of perfection, or
Right.
something like
Yeah.
the holy comet hail bop or whatever.
Right.
Ours was called the group,
The group.
the fucking group. That's it. The group.
Sounds like an ominous movie.
It does. It does. It sounds like Midsummer or something like that. So it was led by a guy named Kenny G. Mills. He was a ex pianist, concert pianist, and he.
Because that's who I want to follow.
Oh no! Wait. You got to remember, this is like the 70s,
Right.
And so, yeah, you can go on YouTube and look up Kenneth G. Mills, and put on the word unfoldment. Now, what an unfoldment is, there you go, is every Sunday, Kenny G. Mills would hold hold an unfoldment.
Don't say it again.
Yeah, no, the level of bullshit wordery is fucking fantastic.
Right.
He would sit on a raised platform in front of maybe 1,000, 1,500 people.
Wow.
And he would give spontaneous poetry for 1 to 4 hours.
Oh
And
my God.
yeah, dude. And I learned
He was just free word associating?
just bullshit dripping out of his fucking mouth. Like my favorite one that I love is that in 1976 or 77.
This is why you have, like, Zach has a thing. I've been friends with him for a long time where the second bullshit starts to enter the conversation, especially if it's business, fucking shit gets like really crazy quick. Where I'm like I'm the guy who's always amped up. I gotta be Zach. Bring it down. Go ahead.
So you may remember in 1970s Star Wars came out.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
77?
New Hope. Yeah.
So fuck with Kenny Mills. I'm like sitting up there, and you gotta just to paint the room for you. You're in a convention hall or a conference room at a hotel.
Right.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 to 1,500 fucking people there. They're all adults. There's a couple of us kids there.
Did they pay to go?
Oh fuck it! No, they tithed 10% of their entire income
to this pianist.
to this pianist. Yeah,
Wow.
the piano man, right? And so the infrastructure will blow your mind.
Sing us a song. You're a cult leader.
Yeah, exactly. He had a place called the Starscape Inn, which is up in Lake Muskoka, and we would all go there over the summer. Pay him for us to go there, and then we would fix the place.
What?
We would work on it. I shit you not, so we could listen to more unfoldments. And there wasn't just the every Sunday thing. There's also the
So an
recurring
unfoldment.
classes.
Spontaneous
was-
unfoldments.
Basically, his sermon.
He would spew
Yeah.
bullshit, calling it. By the way, it makes sense. Unfoldment. You're just letting your brain unfold. Just
Yeah. And
spew
here's the
bullshit,
thing
as my dad would say.
Here's the thing: is 1,000 to 1,500 people sitting in a fucking room, and he's up there, and you got to bring up some footage and mix it in with this. And,
Do you want to bring something? I have one that's called Green Stuff, a spontaneous informant by Kenneth G. Mills.
Yeah. So everybody.
Okay, we're putting. Okay, we're gonna put a piece in.
Okay.
Guys,
Oh, you will. I'll help you with that.
here's
So-
unfoldment with Kenneth G. Mills.
But
All right.
my favorite part
So
is
now
like,
we've watched it now. Now
I
come back.
haven't seen the one. So you got to imagine a room filled with people, and all these adults are like, oh, wait. Oh, Mr. Mills. Yes. Oh, Mr. Mills. Oh my. And I mean dudes, fucking dudes and women and all over. And you could hear this murmuring ascension of agreement just trying to emotionally suck his fucking dick from across the room. Oh, Mr. Mills, that's so beautiful.
I don't see. Here's okay. So
And
this,
he did it. That was group mind think. That was
Yeah,
group
yeah.
mind control. I know
Yeah.
how
this
to
was
do
a big
this.
thing in the
It's easy.
70s.
Oh, so so the thing that he did, many of you,
Besides the raping.
he didn't do any raping.
Go, okay, we just
Yeah,
want to
there
make
you
sure we got
go.
that out.
Known of.
That in a second. So my favorite, that'll never be-
Allegedly.
is when he said like the Star Wars that is so popular in the theaters with the children is filled with lies. Okay.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah, that's the
because
whole thing. Is
the lead
It's
character,
imaginary.
the hero, this hero, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I and my father are one, cannot be. I am separated from my father. No. I forbade anyone to go see it. I shit you not. He took the word Obi-Wan Kenobi, broke it down so it matched his phrasing of I and my father are one now and not shall be. And he was like, I and my father can no be. And I'm sitting there, yeah. That happened, motherfucker. And that's also when I'm like
Oh my
7,
God.
8 years old, and I'm like,
What did he? Yeah.
that sounds like some bullshit. Like I didn't say anything. But I'm sitting there as a little kid, like, wait, I know what this is. fuck all y'all, you stupid as shit. Like, and that's when I started
It
realizing.
doesn't make any sense because, okay, let's break it down. In his world,
Sure.
Obi-Wan Kenobi actually helped raise Luke. Without Obi-Wan Kenobi being the father, Luke could never have been. Now, Luke's father was already gone. We didn't know that he was gone. He was an evil guy, but it's like, it even works. Yeah, because Darth Vader was his father, and him and it can't be. That's why Luke tried to kill him. Fuck it, dude, we can make it all make sense.
Yeah.
You dumbass. We
Yeah.
go, but this is why these guys work. And this is, here's
That's how I realized I was smarter than the average bear. When I was a little kid, that was the first moment I thought, like, oh, fuck, you guys are, who's buying this shit? Like, none of that makes any sense.
Listen, you just stand up. I'm 8 and this is bullshit. I still poop myself once in a while, and I know this guy's full of it.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy.
So how did you get out of it, though?
Literally, when I was 18 years old, I was assigned to travel around the world. My mom gave me this amazing gift, which was I was freaking out because I was going to go to college after high school, and I didn't know where I was going to go. And because remember, I made all my own money. I've been doing that and paying for my family since I was 13. So this was a big burden. I was terrified, and I was like, I just don't want to go someplace and spend money to do nothing. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. My mom walked out of the room, walked back with an encyclopedia, opened it up to the atlas, and said, Zacharias, this is all yours. You go wherever you want. The world is your oyster. And I was like, oh, thank you.
Wow.
And she used to be a travel agent. We raised money. I went to Australia.
Did you like understand how awesome that is?
Fuck, dude,
that she did that?
I think this is the first time I told this story without crying.
Wow.
Because that's a life changer when someone says, "Oh, it's your oyster."
Yeah.
You can do whatever
Especially
you
you're kind of still a kid, and she went, no, you got to do this, become a lawyer, and blah. She's like, no,
want. Yeah,
the
it was
world.
pretty amazing.
Wow.
So I raised money so I could go to Australia because in Canada, because you're part of the Commonwealth, you can go there and work for 2 years because you're part of the Commonwealth,
Right.
but underneath the age of 27. So I'm gonna go. I'm raising the money. Mr. Mills at the unfoldment on a Sunday, literally is up there, and he's like, and Zacharias
Oh my.
is avoiding his responsibility to this work, this message to the world, putting him like goes off. And you got to understand the duality that you experience. I was raised without a father. You had a dad. So there were times when I thought,
raised without a mom, though, really.
right. So I thought there's certain times Kenny G. Mills was a father figure to me, somebody that I wanted to please. Then there are other times I thought he was just a fucking cunt of a human being. And then I would go back the other way. So it was a very, as you're looking for structure in
You're
your
still
life.
learning. You're a kid.
So he's saying this shit. I'm sitting in the room, and he's basically lambasting me. He's fucking putting me down and saying that I'm fucking off and being useless, but he's doing it in flowery bullshit language. And this is what I do.
Oh shit.
If I know Zach,
For an hour and a half, motherfucker, I do not put my arm down. You try that shit.
Yeah.
Because after knowing the guy for fucking 13 years since I was a child, I was like, no, man, fucking talk to me. You have something you want to say?
Yeah.
Fucking talk to
Yeah,
me.
you've told me that you've taught me basically
I heard
that
your side.
exactly. Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Never. They literally walked right by me as he left the room, and I stood up and I was like this as he walked by. Never made eye contact. Left, and I never saw him again.
Wow.
And I was like, "That's some bullshit."
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Not only that, but especially if I was in the group call, I'd be like, wait, this guy just told us that we can just get involved, say anything, get our side, and then he just fucking blew off a kid who held his arm up. That kid's gonna do something because that's psychopath. That's a psycho move. 2 hours for an hour.
Yeah. With the room filled with like at least 600 people, I'm like, "Fuck all you guys."
Yeah.
How'd this cult finally end?
He died. He died. He was an older guy to start off with, eh? So he died, and it sort of just broke apart. And I was talking to my mom about this too. It was like, what I realized about the group, what was so fucking genius about it, is that my mom had been a dirty fucking hippie before that.
Right.
And she had traveled around Europe with the bhikkhu, which is like a Buddhist monk type of dude. So it was all this like free love and naked titties and everybody being kind of gross type of thing, right? And then I think what
naked
happened,
titties aren't gross.
but I gotta say dirty hippie unwashed naked titties, all that kind of flower.
Okay.
All over the place.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was like that type of earthiness, right? Not gross, but earthiness, right? And then I think what happened is people had fucking kids and they were worn out. And I think they were like, I still want to be spiritual, but I need to have a clean fucking house. I need to take care of my kid.
Some
I
structure.
need to have a goddamn job. And I also don't want to feel like I sold out and became my parents. So what Kenny G did is he repackaged spiritualism with money as like, you should, the Bible says it's easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle than a rich man getting to heaven. But this is about the wealth inside your heart. So you should make money, and give me part of it.
Right.
And people are like, oh, well, good. So I can stay here and I don't have.
That still works, though.
It still works. And so that's the thing is like.
So here's what I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Since you were in one and you got the mind fuck that it is, I don't know if it's a species of human because I don't have it. I'm like I have such a high bullshit meter and a sensitive bullshit meter that almost to my detriment. And Trump's doing this. There's a group of people.
Right?
There's a group of people that are like, how the fuck
He says
are
shit,
you
and
following
you can't
this
just
guy?
Smell the bullshit out of it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always.
He actually said this last week. He said he goes listen. We signed the first responder bills. I was down there when it happened. I'm not saying I was a first responder. You fucking better not. He got 150 grand. There was no damage to any of his properties, but he got 150 grand in after the disaster relief.
He was literally on the news when the towers were going down,
Yeah.
talking about the
About
fact that
tallest.
his building is now the tallest. There's such a
People were still under rubble, and he's going, well, he goes, it was the tallest building, but now that it's gone, it's a horrible thing, but now my building's the tallest.
that shit's insane. It is a weird thing. Like, not only I understand where you're going with that.
Yeah, well, I just don't get.
I don't
just
get it. Have you seen this one too? Like, bullshitto, the martial arts where it's just bull crap, and
Yeah,
people
yeah.
like, I use my chi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's one thing I kind of understand the guy who's doing it because he's making money off of fucking nothing.
Yeah.
But then there's the people who are his students who are like, oh, I fell down. You're like, what's in it for you? And it's a really interesting psychological paradigm because what they're looking for is acceptance inside a group
Right.
by allowing that domination to happen because they all agreed upon it.
Mm.
It's just, and like, I'm not
But
going
it's
to
also
offend
that-
anybody, but it's the same thing as fucking religion, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
It
exact
is.
same
Yeah,
thing
it
as
is.
religion.
Yeah.
People are like, I'm speaking in tongues, hoobity boobity boobity.
Yeah.
We all know we're bullshit, right? Like we all know we're all joking.
Yeah.
Just to suck each other off.
It's a
little bit.
show.
It's a show of lies, though. That's the thing
Yeah.
that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And I understand it because people, to a certain degree, are afraid of dying, and so they want to have a religious ideology. But did you know that there are
I just
more
think- I think-
atheists in the country now?
Yeah.
Than there's 17% of United States citizens are atheists, and they have no lobbying representation. So a lot of us are like, we live here, and then we die, and that's cool, and I'm lucky to do it. Have a good fucking day.
Yeah. Me, death,
Cool.
done.
Great.
That's
Thank
how
you
I,
very much.
Yeah, that's how it's going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't understand. Ray and I talk about this all the time. I don't like how do you have to suspend your belief to fucking follow these people? You have to be like, okay, what my brain is telling me is bullshit, doesn't work. Nope. And you push that aside, and then you go, and I think what you said, it's all about acceptance. People want to
I
be
agree.
noticed and acknowledged.
Mhm.
And these guys that do this are awesome at it. Trump did something the other day. It was crazy. He walked out and he goes, I just want to say, the Democrats were awesome yesterday. And I was like, what the fuck did he just do? He goes, we had a meeting, discussion. He goes, sat down with him, and honestly, we got it done. The Democrats stepped it up and were awesome. And I was like, oh, someone told him that all this bullshit racist shit he's doing is not working, and he just fucking flipped it. And I don't understand how people don't see the bullshit. Now, why? How did the people in this cult see, did you notice it?
Yeah, dude, I remember this. Like, this is my childhood. So there was this, he would do this thing. So he'd sit up on this little raised platform, and he had this big, nice, comfy chair. And he'd be wearing these fancy suits, very kind of European, very green. He looked like a gigolo from Europe, but with gray hair. It was
Right,
very
right.
amazing. Lots of rings, lots of fucking rings. And he would have like a thing of water that he would drink from, and sometimes some grapes. The grapes play into the story. I'm not burying the lead. So he would talk. He would be talking, and Joe Guy over
Very
here,
Caligula, by the way.
it fucking is, man.
Yeah.
Wait, and he would eat his grape. I mean, it's very dainty, but very weirdly sensual. And so then he would, how the fuck did he do this? Someone would ask a question and he would say, blah, 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 back to you. How did you deal with this? And then this person would say something. And Mr. Mills was like, no, you did it wrong. You did this. And he would chastise this motherfucker in front of everybody else. He would
What?
chastise him and like, hey, you buried the truth of who you are as a being and you have to step into the light. And by denying that, you were denying the holy spark that is in your body. And he would go off and he would fucking tear this guy a new asshole. And this guy had started off like, yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
Now
Oh,
here-
no.
Here comes the twist.
Yeah.
He would spend the 10 minutes beating that guy's ass, right?
Yeah.
And he would say, now look at all of you who have now pulled away from him where he had the courage to try. And now he's bringing back in. And now this guy's like, yeah, I'm kind of awesome.
Yeah.
All of you who sit in your judgment, pulling away from your brother when he is being thrown before the fire.
And when he needed you more.
When he needed you most. Look to yourselves. And now everybody who's like, yeah, you're a dick is like, but I want to be liked as well. And then he fucking throws him a grape. I fucking swear to God.
You're kidding me.
Bro.
Like a grape.
It's like a pet thing, you know?
Oh, that's my thing. I watched this. And
Did he go?
I was no, it was way worse. He caught the grape, held it, went, oh, and kept the grape.
Didn't eat the grape.
Bro, I was a child. These were grown ass fucking men and women.
So, but that's that
Terrifying,
mind fuck.
bro.
That's that
Kept the
Manchurian
grape.
candidate mind fuck, man. And you know, there's two ways to do that. That is a technique that I think
Fuck yes.
people do it. It's a technique.
Yeah.
Sometimes it helps get you insight. If you go there's another way to do it. I think the forum. I went to did the forum, and it's helped me tremendously.
I love the first weekend of the forum that I did. You finally got me into it. Now you know why I was so resistant.
Yeah.
to
Oh yeah.
anything
God.
in a group.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
well,
because
honestly,
don't give me no grape.
Because honestly, they lay out and you get up and you share and sometimes they will go. There's this thing that your life is empty and meaningless.
Yeah, I
which
love
is
that.
empty and meaningless. And at first you're like, what kind of bullshit is this? And then when you get down to the base, it just breaks down it to nothing. And they don't force a belief on you. They tell you that there is no belief. You get to pick it.
Right.
And that's what I loved about it. It was like they weren't saying I'm the king and this is what you follow the king. They were
I like that part of
you're
it a
the king,
lot.
motherfucker. Come up with your own ideas.
To me, it was like high speed Taoism.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So it had a little more. There's a lot more power in it because it gave you power. It wasn't someone telling you to believe their power. That technique, though, is how they use it in the military.
Right.
They use it any group think.
Right.
That's the technique they use.
Yeah.
And that's why
So gross, dude.
even in show business,
Fuck yes.
some fucking oh god, my acting classes. Fuck. I stopped. I stopped taking acting classes with certain teachers because I'd watch them do that. They'd be like blah, 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 and then they would rip some fucking poor actor a new asshole, and then go back to the rest of us, and then be like, and then that guy would do the scene. They'd be like, that was excellent. You took what I said, and and it was this fuck you, you're beautiful. Fuck you, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
And that and in relationships too. Yeah, pay attention, people, to how people work you. Some people don't get it. Yeah, and I don't know if it can't be intellect because I know some really smart people that fall for this shit.
I was about to say it's usually the double digit IQ that fall for the dumbest things, but you're
They
right.
think I know more than you, so I'm following this because I know more. I'm glad I'm the right amount of stupid. Yeah.
That's cute. That's cute.
Guys, the podcast is brought to you by Harry's Razors. Harry's Razors, check this out. So, you know the razor you have to go buy at the CVS where you gotta get the guy to unlock it, and there's a big
Security
thing.
guard.
There's a security guard.
Mhm.
There's a guy with a gun. Are you hey, when you pay for it, you can have it.
And they're apparently $500 for a fucking razor.
Yeah, I like when the guy, I'll walk it up to the counter. Really, dude? Really? You're gonna walk it up? Harry's Razors, they started their own company. They hated it as much as I did. They started the company. They have 5 blades on the razor. They have a German factory. They bought their own German factory.
Really?
Have you tried Harry's Razors?
No.
Dude. They're okay. Go to harrys.com/Titus and you're going to get a deal on it.
Okay.
They have a deal waiting for us. But harrys.com/Titus to get your deal on the razors. Dude, I'm telling you, we have military in our family, and these guys. So we started using them. We won't not do a commercial unless we use the stuff. We won't do it. So I started using them. I was like, these are so much better. 5 blades are better, dude. And so military. One's an ex-Army colonel, and one is a Marine, and they're now old. And they stuck to their razors. They're like, these are my razors, and I'm not changing. We sent them for Christmas. They all switched, and then then Ray's dad was like, I need more razors. Can you send me more blades, please? And you can because they ain't expensive. Go to harrys.com. /Titus to get your deal. You can get the shave gel. You get the handle with the razor. It's in the cool box. You get a couple of blades, and I think it's like $13.99.
What?
Dude, yeah, in the box it comes in is awesome.
That's like usually it's like $25 for like 5 fucking razors and the handle thingy.
Yeah, no, this one and the handle's really cool. Like they designed it really well. Go harrys.com /Titus. All right. Also, this show is also brought to you by Combustion Speedwear. This is the speed shirt on the back of the shirt. It's basically a guy shifting. On the back of the shirt, it says, if everything's under control, you're not going fast enough. If you want some cool hot rod stuff, go to combustionspeedwear.com. Get it. We have leather jackets. Zach has one.
Oh yeah, I do. It's sexy.
It's holding up well. Huh?
It's beautiful.
It's Italian
gorgeous.
leather, Japanese silk. We will make it for you. CombustionSpeedwear.com. Go now. Get some shirts. Get some cool stuff. And now, you want to do some news?
Sure.
By the way, and now, from sea to shining sea, continent to continent, and sometimes space, it's PZE with the bombshell news. There you go.
Is that how she does it?
Right.
Okay, so she leaves this site up, and I'm supposed to pick a few things off it, right?
Yeah.
They're all pretty random.
Little kid
Doesn't
finds
matter.
out what it's like when a lion really wants to eat you. Read the story. What does
Okay,
it
let's
say?
see here. A close encounter with a lioness at the, how do you say that?
Audubon?
The Audubon Zoo in New Orleans goes viral. So it's a video, I guess. And so let's see. Should we check it out and then put it up on the screen? Where is it?
Oh well, the kid's sitting in a glass case, like it's like basically a lion aquarium, kind of.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's stalking the kid.
Oh, yeah. See? Okay.
Oh, no!
It looks over. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Well,
it's gonna eat the kid.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, fucker. Like, yeah, we invented glass, bitch. And the mom brings the other one.
Oh, she brings it over? I'm
What kind of
confused.
mother is that? Now the lion's trying to eat the baby.
Just nonstop going for
That
it.
lion's like, mother, oh, this is some bullshit.
No, pass.
Pass on that
Nah,
one.
I'd be like if someone put a Pop-Tart in a locked glass case. You'd be like, I can't. I just want the Pop-Tart.
Have you ever been around big animals?
I have a quick story. We when we moved to LA years ago, we were in the hallway of our apartment, and there was this cat in the hallway by itself. And I was like, it's kind of a big cat. It's a fat cat. I thought it was a big cat. And went over, and I was like, and it was going, meow, wow. It was the weirdest meow, wow. And I walked over to it. Hey, kitty, everything okay? And I touched it, and this fucking thing, it was made out of steel cables. It was like, and I was like, oh. And I started knocking on doors. I just walked away from it. I started, hey guys, anybody have a cat? And the guy goes, what do you mean, do I have a cat? And it was like really weird look on his face. I go, well, there's one in the hall. And he turns around and he goes, oh shit. And the dude's look on his face was like, how are you still standing here? Oh, he's like, oh God, you still have a face. Thank God you still have a face. And it was an illegal, he'd imported it from Brazil. It was about this big. And it was from like the lion family or something. It was the fucking craziest thing. And it was just hanging out in the apartment.
Oh no.
Yeah. In Studio
It's a
City.
Bengal cat, maybe?
Yeah, it was like that. It was in that
Like a little
family. It wasn't
Bengal
a
cat?
house cat. It was,
I was doing a commercial for All Sports Market. We were working on stuff. We went up north to work with a bear, and I'll give you this picture later on. It's me on a fucking bear, and it's a
real bear?
A real fucking bear, dude. It's a
It's
1,200
a circus
pound bear.
bear.
Oh.
No,
Why were you on a bear?
it was. Why were you in a bear?
Yeah, dude. Like,
The 7-year-old.
Who's letting you do that?
It was trained. It was a trained bear, but it was a fucking giant ass bear. And so I'll give you the pictures so you can post them up. It's an amazing experience. But if you don't understand the muscle density.
right.
So remember, I was in the fucking circus, bro.
Yep.
So I was around elephants, tigers, lions.
So after the
monkeys.
cult, you joined the circus.
Yeah, that's what I did in
awesome.
Australia.
Yeah.
And like, they will.
We're gonna do the news. And we're gonna talk about this too. I want to.
Yeah, so it's just people who don't understand. Like at one point, one guy's like, "Well, why doesn't the bear just give you a high five?" No, the trainer's like, yeah, because he'll rip his arm off.
Yeah, because
He's like, your shoulder goes,
What happened?
he'll take your hand
He'll
off
take
your
your
body.
hand
It's like-
right
and
off.
when you don't understand the muscle density, it's like, this is me. That's an animal.
Right.
Because they're like 7 times the muscle density.
They're
that
Why?
we are.
shredded.
That's what this cat felt like. I was like, that's
Yeah.
That's not a kitty.
Because they're
It's strong.
that's a fighting machine.
Right.
That's a fighting, killing machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a totally
Trained to
different.
kill.
That's an apex predator meant to survive.
And
Yeah.
that's what's funny is like when people forget, like we live in such a safe world.
Mhm.
It's always funny when like I'll see some video of some guy. There was a video this week. A dude, he's holding a baby alligator. He's took into the camera. He's like, baby alligator. And you see behind him a fucking full size. They're not just
mom,
fucking
yeah.
hauling ass across this grass at him, and he's not looking.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, and the video cuts. I'm like, because I'm filming. I'm like, pew, I'm running because alligators haul ass.
Oh, do they really?
Oh, alligators can haul
they're
ass.
fast.
Yeah, and
I did not know that.
And this guy's like, look at the little baby alligator. And the mom was like, motherfucker. And she's coming up on him. Like, dumb ass. Dude, you can show the video. You probably bring it up.
Which one? The next one? Or a different video?
What's this? Yeah.
Speaking of bears, a bear attempts to steal a full dumpster from Colorado pot dispensary. So I guess
the munchies?
the bear hangs around in the dispensary so much that they nicknamed it Cheeseburger. So I guess this video is you don't just take the food, you take the dumpster.
What we just read about bears, don't give it a personality. Don't
I
make
just like
it
the
a
fact
name.
that name is such a pothead name for a bear.
Cheeseburger.
What are you gonna name him? Cheeseburger.
I like cheeseburgers.
I don't know what happens. I figure he like steals stuff from the dumpster, but this time he just wanted the whole dumpster, I
He
guess.
took the whole dumpster?
That's what, yeah.
Did you guys ever see the movie The Bear? Remember
Yes,
that?
yes.
Okay, directed by a French dude, right?
Really?
And it was and
There's
this bear.
there's not
Kodiak.
one line of dialogue in it.
It's beautiful. I love that film. And the French guy, the director, got a little too comfortable with Bob the Bear, and he kept on like, okay, you go, you go this way, you go this way. Now French people are dicks to start off with. Let's just clear that. And so he's like, okay, oh yeah, just cheese eaters, and he's like, you go this way, and he pushes the bear, and the bear went. Bunk. And bounced him off a tree and broke his arm.
Benji said, "Ma."
And so you see the rest of him like he's like, okay, maybe you can move the bear.
They're like, get the bear trainer in here.
Yeah.
The bear trainer. Why?
Oh my God.
He's over there.
You're talking about a 9-10 foot tall bear that weighs like over 1,000 pounds going, fuck off, bunk.
So here's when
my
I knew
God.
that I'm. It's not good for me. Here's when I made a decision in the movies. I always sit in the back row because of this movie. Where the bear and the bear. I wanted to see it because I kept reading about how beautifully it was shot, and it was.
The Revenant.
It's like the best Disney nature movie times 10. It's so good.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: is the entire film is about two bears, not about people. It's about an older bear and a cub going through the wilderness. So you're at the bear's POV. Your hero is a bear.
Yeah, okay.
They tell the bear story how they get.
Yeah.
They have to. Anyway,
That's cool.
So and this guy sitting behind me. I'll never forget it because I finally said something. He had obviously gone to a candy shop that actually wrapped all their candy in bamboo wrappers.
You're right.
Because here's
in broken glass.
And by this movie, and you back this up. This movie's dead quiet. It's just gorgeous. You just to get into it and fucking right behind me goes on for an hour.
Wow.
And I go, dude, put that fucking shit away. So I took everybody out of the movie because this one guy was making me insane.
That's funny.
So now if I've decided from then on, I always sit with my back. I have to sit at the back of the theater because I can't deal with it. I'm also the guy 2 rows in front of me has his phone out.
Oh no, I'll say something.
Okay, I say so. Yeah.
Do you remember back in the day?
sometimes
I back in the
No
day,
one has class anymore.
Back in the day, there had a moment here in LA where laser pointers were being put on the screen of the theater. In order to suggest to the rest of the audience, like, hey man, I got a gun with a laser pointer on it. And I went to go see a movie, can't remember what the film was, and someone put a laser pointer up on the screen. And I stood up. I'm like, whoever's got that laser pointer better turn it the fuck off now or it's going up your fucking ass. I turned around, looked around. It went boop right off. I was like, good. Now, technically, the odds of me getting shot, I was like, I think the odds are there's just some fucking little punk ass bitch with a laser pointer. And now somebody's like, you probably should have shut my fucking mouth, but whatever.
Same with phone. I'm like, hey, dude, turn your phone off. Hey, fuck you. Really? Dude, what do you want to do?
I hate that.
We all fucking paid for this movie. Turn your fucking phone off and quit fucking it up for everybody else.
Yeah, you can see
and then
them
it's weird.
texting.
Then, because I learned that with comedy, I learned that like whenever I get heckled or something and like I'll just trash a guy, I feel the audience go, dude, that was too far. I'll be like, let me explain something to you people. You guys paid $25 a ticket and $9 for a drink. I go, I'm not going to let one dickhead screw up this show that I spent years developing for you. And the fucking whole audience goes, yeah, that guy's a jerk. And then, I didn't mean to give that away. Now I gave it away. Damn it. All right, see the bear. Let's do it. So he just takes the dumpster.
I haven't seen it. I just looked these up just now, but I think he comes in and he takes the whole dumpster.
He's just dragging the dumpster to the fence.
Dumpster out.
The bear's like, hey, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna take.
I guess.
I'm just gonna take the container.
So, that's like Yogi Bear because bears like picnic.
That's a picnic basket, my friend.
That's a big basket.
Hey, boo boo, get get the whole dumpster? Why are we doing a picnic basket? Wow.
All right, cosplayers pay their respects to Trump with a baby blimp at Comic-Con this year. Did you see this?
Awesome.
I have not
I've
seen this.
Another baby.
She look at the photo.
So
or-
you can now order these. No. This started in England.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So he
Have
was
you ever seen
going.
this?
No.
It's Trump in a diaper,
Yep.
and he's holding a cell phone.
Yep.
And they started this in England when he was the first trip over there. They hated him so much already that someone's like, "I'm going to spend 40 grand to make a helium a blimp to fly over Buckingham
So
Palace while
funny.
he's there." It's such a good bit of shade
Did
by
you
the
guys
Brits.
hear about
Like,
that?
you know, we could call him an asshole all day, but let's
big baby.
let's make
He's
him
a
a
big
large giant
baby.
baby,
Such a
and then
baby.
float him over England, pointing out what
Did you guys
what a
hear about
twat
that
he
thing when
actually
he
is.
went on stage and then somebody hacked the presidential seal?
Yeah, it was happening this last week. That was awesome.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, so
What happened?
Trump walks on
Yeah.
stage to do a press conference.
I think we
or
talked
whatever.
about it. Yeah.
And behind him, you know what the presidential seal is? It's like the eagle with the wings. And
Yeah,
it says
yeah,
like, you
yeah.
know, something in Latin.
Gawi-
and then
yeah.
on the bottom, he's got like arrows and lightning bolts.
Yeah.
And this, it was a double-headed eagle, which is a signal sign
the Russian Federation.
And in one hand was a bag of money, one claw, and the other one was golf clubs, and and the Latin said "puppet of Russia."
Yeah.
Wow.
And now those guys are making T-shirts, and I fucking want one.
Yeah.
What?
So check this out. Not only that, but it was a right-wing youth group. It was, and so what? So,
Wait, really?
Here's how bad the hack. Here's how bad the hack was. So whoever, I don't think it was against Trump. I think if someone that didn't like ththese college twats.
Well, his Latin
Yeah.
called him a puppet of Russia.
Yeah,
That's
no.
pretty.
Yeah. No, he's against the guy too. So here's what happened. So they and if the opening video of this thing is crazy. It's Kim Jong Un shit. It's
Really?
like Trump when Trump was at Wharton. He was in military school. He loved military school. Yeah, he loved it so much he deferred to get the draft 5 times. He loved it. He goes he was well liked by men and women. That it says it in the. You should
Really?
pull it up. It's fucking insane.
Wait,
And so one of the
what's it under?
one of they put the presidential seal up, and then when he walked over on the other side of the stage for the thing, and it looks so much like it,
so
you didn't
similar, you
really
don't
know.
even notice.
So then you got pictures of him in front of this weird one with golf clubs and monies. It's the bet. Oh, it's such a
It's
fucking.
How do you look? What's it under?
He owned him so bad. Put fake presidential seal. Put a fake presidential seal.
event or something.
Yeah, but and the group that did it, man, they played it. Rachel Maddow played the video. The video is Kim Jong Un, Donald Trump doing it all for America.
That ambition was unmistakably prevalent in young Donald's DNA.
He apparently loved military school. He liked the kind of out front, I think, competitiveness of it. There were so many different ways that you could excel and get medals and ribbons.
Donald Trump thrived, rising in rank, and he was socially popular with men and women.
What the fuck?
Wow.
And again, it goes back to the cult. People that follow this man, if you can't understand, I can give you 15 things he's done in the last month that would actually get it. You guys would have impeached Obama. But this dude, for some reason, they
Well, I think that's the whole thing that Pelosi is talking about is the impeachment process. And I understand this. There's a slippery slope because you don't want to polarize the country any more than it already is. And when you back someone in the corner, they stick by their fucking guns. And so it's also a lot of fucking money to impeach somebody. And it also affects the economy in a lot of ways. It creates a very unstable economic environment because they're not
yes,
sure-
Wall Street's going to go batshit. They're not going to know what's going to happen.
And so everybody's nervous about that. And it's here's the thing you'll find.
Also,
ahead.
it doesn't work. Here's the thing. Here's the one thing I got.
Once
about
if he gets out of office, he's going to fucking jail. Like the Mueller shit. Like he straight up.
Oh,
said, like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I can't do this to a sitting president. But once you get out of that chair,
He's
he
done.
said it.
He's
He said it in
done.
the
Yeah.
hearings. He goes. It was a Republican senator who said it. He goes. So are you telling me that if President, once he's out of office, he could be arrested? Mueller just goes, yes.
Wow.
And
What's he
goes,
gonna
"Wait,"
do?
he goes, hold on. You're telling me that the president, and he doubles down on it. The president, right now, you could actually arrest him for obstruction when he gets out of office. Yes.
God, I would fucking.
What's his plan then? What's he gonna do?
Well,
That's it.
here's my
move to Cuba?
That's right.
No, yeah,
Move to
Michael
Russia.
Cohen, a guy who was one of his right hand men for 12 years, flat out said in his hearing, "I know this man, and I am really afraid that there will not be a peace. If he loses, there will not be a peaceful transition of power." That's the dude that fucking knows him. That guy's going to prison now. He had nothing to lose. He had nothing to lose by saying that. He had nothing to gain either except getting killed. And he said it flat out.
Wow.
Yeah. So did you have it?
I found this one. Is this the
I think Ray
conference?
talked about this a little bit last week.
Well, it just happened this week.
Was it this week? Maybe we didn't do it on the podcast.
3 days ago, I think.
Yeah.
It's holding golf clubs. Yeah. We got to find, what we want to do is find the opening video. Guys, we're going to find the opening video where
he talks.
That these kids did about him. It's Kim Jong-un.
Oh, really?
Shit. It's the craziest thing. Donald Trump and he, amazing businessman, billionaire. And it goes on for like 5 minutes. We won't put all of it in, but it's,
Is it meant to be ironic or satire?
No,
or it's
it's
like
this hardcore right-wing kid group.
Suck-uppery.
Yes.
Wow.
Sycophantic suck-uppery. That's awesome.
Because one, big word. And second one, dumb word that explains the big word.
Big imaginary word.
I made that word. Isn't that the greatest thing?
You created that word on your own.
That's a made word. All words are made up.
That is true.
True. Slang.
That is very true. All right, guys. Dude, thanks for being on. We have so much more to talk about. Yeah, we only do like an hour, but I wanted the circus. Let's talk about the circus for a second. How did you get out of the cult and then into a circus?
So very interestingly, my mother is a very outgoing woman. On the subway, there was someone turned around and said, in Toronto, where I'm from, said, can you give me directions? But he had an Australian accent. And my mom, who's an actress, of course, she's like, oh, look at you, you've got an Australian accent.
Wow, your mom's the queen. That's that Benny Hill character.
So my mom is a Benny Hill. So she talked to this gentleman. His name was Tony Gordon. He came from Australia. He owned a cattle station. They call ranches stations out there.
Okay.
They call fields paddocks. There you go.
Paddocks.
So he was out in Toronto for a dog food convention because he was making his own type of dog food. Right. And my mom gave him directions.
Out of cattle, I'm guessing?
I guess. And so she told me about this and she had gotten his information. She said, my son wants to go to Australia. May I get your address? So I started writing him letters, not emails, kids, fucking letters back in the day. And I asked him
Google it.
Yeah. It's like internet, but with paper.
It takes longer, right?
So I was
weeks, paper and weeks
to Australia. So mailing him back and forth and asking if I could work on his cattle station. And so when I got to Australia, I bought a car, 1974 Datsun 240K. Bring up one of those. Okay. Nice picture, gorgeous car. Steering wheel on the other side of the car.
Right. So you had to learn how to drive. Great, you just got there. You're on the wrong side of the road.
I would get drunk and I'd be like, what side of the road am I supposed to be? Middle of the night, you're like, oh, this is not the right side. Very scary. And so that happened more than once. And so then I drove out from Sydney. I drove out to Orange, which is like 3-4 hours outside of Sydney, out in the mountains, beautiful rolling hills, just gorgeous. His farm ranch had been there for 150 years.
Station, called it station.
Whatever that accent is.
So, it's close to something that's different.
Godolphin and Godora and Godolphin. So over here in the United States, it'll be like the 5-star ranch, right, or the floating D, whatever the fuck. They had like more English style names, so it was Godolphin and Godora, and his parents were still on the in the house, in the property, and his kids, and so it was this giant. He had hundreds and hundreds of hectares, yeah. And so I stayed with
servants.
Him. Yeah, it was good.
Measurements from other countries.
Hector.
And so I stayed with his mom and dad, the elders, and he had his family with the kids. And I was there for about 4 months, and I was working
your ass off,
cutting the balls off of bulls and random fucking shit. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was pretty dope.
Did they just give you like working a farm is random shit because it's just shit? The next thing needs to get done, and so you learn how to do everything.
So you get up at 4. And you want to go to bed by 7.
Oh, that sounds really funny. I'm a stand-up comedian. Get up at 4.
Yeah, it's exhausting. Now that was a legend in itself. Like, I rode a motorcycle and enduro all across the paddocks to check on the sheep and the cows. When the sheep are in shearing season, they get a lot of wool, and that wool, if it gets wet, is really heavy, and they fall over. And when they fall over, one part of their body dies if no blood goes to it, and you have to just kill the animal and throw it away. You can't even eat it.
You gotta check on them,
right? So in the middle of the night, you're driving around in the rain looking for these fucking sheep, and you find them, and you
And
go over to
they
them.
used that's not a legend. They would actually fall over because it got too
The
heavy.
sheep, yeah. Because imagine taking a wool sweater, put it in water.
It's
pick it up,
heavy. Yeah.
fucking heavy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have to go out, find the sheep that are falling over, and then go over, pick them up,
That's
and
a
then you.
dumb animal, man.
It's yeah.
Bah.
And then
Bah.
you hold them with your knees so that they can get. It's kind of like when you get a dead foot from sitting too
Yeah,
long.
Oh yeah.
So you hold them like that so they can get the blood back in there and then circulation.
Then they run off.
And I fell asleep standing up. I went down and
Someone had to roll you over.
No.
Yeah, part of him went dead. Part of him
it
died.
was a merino ram and it headbutted me and broke my nose.
What?
Oh yeah, my whole nose just went blurp.
What?
And I was like, fucking sheep.
Ah.
Oh my god!
You did a good job.
Thanks. Well, I had it fixed later on because I had a lot of internal. Remember when I was doing Titus?
Oh, you had it drilled. I remember this.
When I was doing Titus, I
oh,
found
hey.
out later everybody thought I did cocaine because I would be like, "Hey man, how's it going? Good to see you. What are we doing?" And my nose had been broken like 5 times from boxing and hitting sheep.
Yeah.
And
Sheep.
Yeah. What a good ending for that.
the hardest part is to get the sheep in the boxing ring in the gloves. So that's just,
Yeah, exactly.
But so I could barely breathe. So people thought I was a cokehead because I was going. But I had like 8% breathing. Anyways, so I was on the cattle station for about 4 months.
They had to
and
drill your nose. You had that.
Yeah,
you had
they
that. My
drilled
dad
that
had
out.
the same thing.
It fucking
Hurts. Yeah, but it
didn't
hurts.
hurt at all. I
can breathe
loved
now.
it. It was great. It was gross. Something.
You were on painkillers for a minute.
A minute. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was fun. And so one day, I would finish working, and I was back at Godolphin, and the elderly woman who was a Tony's mother was like, "Hey, Zacharias, we've seen this at the circus is in town." And she had the newspaper. I was like, "What, the circus?" She's like, "Yeah, the circus is in town. You should go look at that." And so my father gave me a book, Toby Tyler Joins the Circus, when I
Yep.
was a little kid. It's a legendary American novel.
Yep.
And little kid had red fucking hair. And so I went to go see the circus. And it's like old world, man. This is not Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey type
Like
of
Circus,
shit.
we had one like Circus Vargas. It's like the most ratty. You're like, holy shit, these animals. Leno used to do a bit. He goes, "Yeah, they had a petting zoo," and he goes, "It was a deer that was like 60 years old. It had half a face from getting it rubbed off by little kids."
It was legit. It
Yeah.
was legit. So I then joined the circus and worked there for about 9 months.
Now, was that fun job or it was?
Yeah.
Because it's moving. You're hustling, man. You guys up
and you're
down.
also you get paid like I think we got paid like $90 a week, and we lived inside like a Winnebago type thing, but from 1940 something.
Yeah.
And it was all solid steel, and like so there would be like the kitchen was here, then there was the 2 bunk unit. What I was in with my roommate's nickname was Morph, which is morphine. My nickname was Blue because you call redheads blue.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know
Okay.
why.
Makes
Then
total
there-
sense.
Yeah, right. Then there was a 4 unit, a 4 bunk, and a 4 bunk, and we would be able to push the wall back from the into the kitchen a little bit because it would move about 8 inches, and it had steel drawers that were bolted on the wall, and I cleaned it all out because when I first got there, I was in the bottom bunk, and there was a divot in the mattress. And it was wet. It was gross. Because there had been a fire, and someone had put it out with water.
It just gets worse because there was a fire, and then the
put it in
plague
water.
came in, and then Ebola. So two guys.
I took all that out and threw it in the garbage. And when I heard the noise, and I looked down, and there was a family of fucking rats. And I mean, they were big that I'd been sleeping on. So I'm sweeping those things the fuck out, and I'm taking all the shit to clean it. 'cause it's grotesque.
Right.
And I found a letter from 1942.
Wow.
Somebody who's in the fucking circus telling him like I'm avoiding going to war by staying in the circus.
What?
Fucking dope, right?
Yeah.
There was a circus deferment.
Or you were just
I
running
think Trump
away.
used one of those too.
Yeah, I believe that. So, and then we had a 2 king pole tent, and so if you imagine the tent, like you have the big poles that go up, it goes up, and then it goes down.
Oh, okay,
These
yeah,
are
yeah.
called the king poles, right?
Right, right. Those are the big giant ones in the center that the trapeze goes off it. And
Yeah. So you've got a week of training, and then and you're called a tent boy or a rigger.
Mm.
Not rigger, but rigger.
Riga.
mate. So your test, if you're
Yeah,
going
you
to
can't say rigor because that's
Rigor?
yeah. Well, you know,
Well, they
yeah,
can say it, but we
they can say it, but we can't. Yes, exactly.
See,
We on the same thing.
yeah.
That's why we work together well.
Yeah, this is good.
That's why you say rigor.
Yeah,
Because that means it's cool. You take the power back.
the king poles were about 48 feet tall.
Oh, damn.
And
How
they-
fun were those to set up? Jesus. To get the initial part where that thing might.
Oh, I'll tell
pushing.
you. But they were divided in two pieces, and they your test to see if by the other tent boys see if you're going to stick it out is you have to carry one by yourself.
half of it.
Yeah, and it's about 400 something pounds.
Oh, Jesus.
So you got two guys on either side, and you get in the middle when you're finally ready, and you walk the 60 feet from the truck over there, put it all together. And then the trucks
They didn't know how spunky you were, though, my friend.
That's how stupid.
Yeah, no, but it's like I'm the same way. I'm like, okay, I'm either my spine's gonna snap or I'm making it.
I had to weigh like a 125.
I know
pounds.
that. Yeah.
Like it was like 3 times my weight. Wow. Yeah. So and then the poles get put together. They're on the ground. Then they use tethers and a cable, and we would. This is the part remember from Dumbo where you see them taking these big ass steel spikes and slamming them into the ground.
Yeah.
So how we would do that, and this was fucking terrifying when you first get there. It's like, so here's a steel spike. And you got to hit it with a sledgehammer.
With your hand.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And you're talking about like a 4-pound sledgy that someone's like, ding, ding, bing, right?
Yeah, it's my first day.
Yeah, how many guys?
You're thinking this face.
I've been a rigger for a long time. What do? Me? I'm the spike holder.
Like there wasn't another way to do that with a stick or something.
Like, did I handle? Okay,
Technology. I think a monkey would have been like, "Oh, give me a banana. I'll hold it with a fucking banana." But so what was really cool, and this was my favorite thing about doing it, is that you have these spikes about 5 feet tall, and once you get it planted in so it's not wobbling, you got 3 dudes, and you're going, bing, 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 bing. So we're all hammering this
Synchronized.
fucking thing, never missing, and that thing goes grink, in like under a minute. And then you run those all around, and then the trucks use wires, cables, and I wasn't quite sure how they did, and they pulled up the kingpins, the king poles.
What was the weirdest experience at the circus? Because you always think when you ever see like a movie about the circus, the people are all kind of weird and creepy.
The guy who was the animal trainer, his nickname was Brazil. Everybody had a fucking nickname. And then his assistant, who looked like, you remember the Monkeys, the TV show?
Yeah.
He had this weird fucking bob, and he was like 6'7", white dude. I'm gonna wear a fucking underbite, and his name was Zombie.
Like a Peter Tork.
It was fucking bizarre and super skinny. And Brazil could use the whip, right? And he could, he snapped a cigarette out of my fucking mouth from 30 feet away with a fucking.
Because you thought,
whip.
I'm already holding the spike with the guy with the sledgehammer. The guy with a whip takes something out of my face. That's a good idea.
So cool.
Works half the time.
And he had the elephant. We had elephants, tigers, lions, and tigons, which is a combination, right? And monkeys.
They really have those.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Never slap a monkey in the face. You pop it on the head. If you slap in the face, it shows its teeth and it rips your hand open all the way across and almost all the way through. Don't piss off a
By the way,
elephant.
again, Zack fact.
Yeah.
Never slap a monkey. Always pop him on the top of the head.
And they masturbate all fucking day. They just sit there.
And the problem is what?
Yeah,
so they're more like us than we think.
Exactly. Don't get in arguments with elephants. They remember, and they're one of the few animals that can kick sideways. And one tried to pay me back. So
Really?
Yeah, and their legs are like 5.
You had an argument with it?
Yeah, because I had gotten a dog, and
You're like, you eat peanuts, motherfucker. I don't like peanuts. Yes, you do. You're a fucking elephant. Stop it. Tone it down, Blue.
right. The elephant tried to grab my dog, and there were 3 elephants, Abu, Gigi, and Tanya, and
Tried to just grab it with his trunk?
it was because I saw my dog was named Apache, and he was playing on the side, and I saw.
Did you ever have this dog when you got?
No, he died.
Okay.
He died in Australia. Sadly.
That was another. What was the other dog you had when I first
Tulsa.
met you? Tulsa. All right, right.
But she went with my ex-wife because
Right.
the dog was weird. So Apache was there, and I saw the trunk underneath. And if you've ever fed an elephant, like I did the first time and never wanted to do it again, I'm holding out the hay, and the elephant reaches out and with his trunk and grabs your arm, and then just goes, "Come here." And I'm leaning back like, I don't want to go. And it's not even it's like doing this.
Oh my
And your
God.
whole arm goes in its fucking mouth and is looking at you like, cool. And it's sucking the straw out of
On-
your hand, and you were shitting your pants because you were not in control of anything. So I saw the trunk come out and it was trying to grab Apache.
Because I was going to eat it? Or just trying to shut it up?
No, well, you can't take that risk, dude.
Right.
It's a fucking elephant.
Oh, I wasn't going to take. No, go.
So
go
I
lick
ran and kicked the trunk, and it pulled back, and I grabbed Apache and went away. And now one of my jobs when the elephants came into the center ring of the circus is that
The elephant was like, I see you.
dude, giant curtains that are rubberized canvas, so they're super, super heavy. So you'd have a tent boy on either side holding it with your back, and then you'd run backwards, right? So the elephants could go through. And so I've done this. I've run backwards. I've done it nights and many times. And then I'm watching go by 1, 2, and I come back this way and I see a leg coming at me. So instead of walking like this, he went step, wham, and tried to hit me. And I pulled back as far as I could, and his fucking foot went up like this.
I like this elephant sniper hitman
Dude,
type.
And it's like, that's a 500-600 pound foot.
Yeah.
Kicked you back, huh?
Kicked me right here, right? And I was like, ugh! And I looked up, and the eye was just like,
I know. I know.
I know you, motherfucker. So that was pretty fucking terrifying. And then I was
That's interesting. So you have such a healthy respect for animals, yet you still rode a bear recently. I guess maybe you were around him long enough to know him. It's always funny to me when I see like the guy who it was twice a year. You read some dude goes to the zoo. He jumped in the tiger cage.
Yeah.
What happened? Tiger killed him. Yeah, that's fucking what happened.
Yeah.
That's always that story. Except for that one time that monkey took that kid and was protecting. I watched that video, and if you probably know too, when you saw it, that monkey wasn't Harambe. He wasn't trying to hurt that kid. He was trying to protect that kid.
I think it was in a gorilla or a monkey.
Yeah, gorilla. Yeah,
Yeah, because monkeys are dicks. Gorillas are cool.
Yeah, gorilla was like how the fuck? What asshole let this kid in here?
Social services. Yeah, I've got a bad parent.
It's like, don't worry, I'm adopting you. These fucking people. All right, man, dude. Thank you for being here, my brother.
My
Thank
pleasure,
you, man.
man.
And Peasy, thanks for doing the news. Guys, do me a favor. Go to ChristopherTitus.com if you want to get any of my DVDs, or you can actually download the videos. You can watch all 8 of my specials. We're working on the 9th one now. If you want to order DVDs, I will sign them, and they will send them to you. Just go order it at ChristopherTitus.com. Also, go to Christopher Titus TV on YouTube. This is going to be there. Subscribe. We're at 50,000 people now. We have 50,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. I mean, and we're putting out content all the time. There's something coming up we did called The First Time. Every week, you're going to get an Armageddon update and get notified, and you're going to get this amazing podcast with people like Zack Ward. Very nice. All right, guys, thanks for paying attention. Bombshell will be back in 2 weeks. For myself, Bombshell, PZE, and the amazing Zack Ward. Later.
Oh, shit.
Yo, everybody, this is Willie Jello Johnson telling you to go to ChristopherTitus.com to get any of 8 comedy specials. That's right, ChristopherTitus.com to get the swag, to get the comedy, and keep supporting the podcast. Thanks for listening or watching or whatever the hell you did. All right.